On the storylines?
Yeah, like it'll say the 3 storylines. So would you read expand, or would you just?
It's a great question. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna cross that bridge when we come to it. Hello, Russ Lathrop. I do. De La Cerda, Gleedle, Janjigian, Alfaro, Richards, Rivas, Partida, Francois, Kikanovic, Bone, and Herzog at the top. You know what? Let me fact check my pronunciations just to make sure, because these are a few different players than they had against Sacto. Okay. Look at that. That's cool. Leaker the keeper. Leaker, kind of an unfortunate name for a goalkeeper. No, I won't bring that up. Stanley Kiner Ornstall wearing the captain's armband at right center back in Hansen. So, okay, yeah. I figured it would be this would be the case, but wrote it down a little differently. Hansen, Stanley on the outside, Kiner Ornstall in the middle, Clapier, Krolicky, Malloy on Aguiano with Calixtro and Duran up top. Cam Knowles in his 3rd year with the USL side Portland Timbers, and 12th overall affiliated with the Timbers coaching staff as a whole. A former player at the USL level with T2 as well as some MLS time with the top club. Ian Russell, his 3rd season. Scratch that. Cam is in his 3rd season. Ian Russell in his 4th season, leading Reno 1868, and boy, he's led them to some firepower, a couple of record-breaking goal-scoring seasons, both in 2017 and 2019, both playoff appearances. He's led them to the playoffs twice in his first 3 years at the helm. Of course, Reno tightly affiliated with San Jose Earthquakes at the MLS level. That's another point. Cam mentioned, not sure if they will implement the defensive tactics that San Jose does at MLS with the man marking. Because I know that's unique, but from an analysis standpoint, I couldn't give much. That'd be all you if. Okay. Hartford suffered their first loss of the season today against Indy. Hartford was previously 3-0-0. Intéressant. Week 6 of the USL. What a time to be alive. Welcome in Soccer City, USA, Portland, Oregon. And welcome to our broadcast, Portland Timbers 2 and Reno 1868 FC. We welcome you inside Providence Park. I'm Judah Newby with the play-by-play this evening, joined by my analyst Laura Schott on ESPN+. T2, Reno 1868. And Laura, it's about time that T2 got some action here in the Soccer City, USA, their first match of 2020 at long last in Portland.
Well, everybody's going to be excited to be on the field tonight. It's been so long since these teams have had consistency, and tonight change is probably still going to play a role in the outcome. So whether it's been COVID or it's been lineups or it's been injuries, these teams are going to have to come out and make adjustments in order to get the win.
And amid all that change, nice to have some consistency in the lineup, and T2 has exactly that in the form of Carlos Aguiano, the outstanding midfielder. He'll have a key role tonight.
That's right. Carlos Sanguino, as a young player, he came out of the Timbers Academy, and he got some great minutes last year. T2 is going to be looking for him to unlock the midfield and the defense, play balls forward, and perhaps he'll get an assist tonight.
And Aguiano, a local kid from Salem, Oregon, another local name. There he is, Foster Langsdorff, entering Providence Park for the first time as a visitor. 21 goals for the T2 club over the course of the past couple of seasons. He'll be key for Reno.
Yes, and you see Langsdorff there, 21 goals for T2 in 2018 and 2019. We don't know if he's going to come off the bench or be a starter tonight, but he may be a difference maker tonight.
And that is how it sets up. T2, Reno 1868. It should be a good one from Providence Park. Coming up, we'll bring you the starting lineups and the first half kickoff. Good one in front of us on ESPN+, T2 and Reno 1868. Welcome back, Providence Park, moments away from kick. Timbers 2, their official home opener at long last here in Portland, Oregon. T2 taking on Reno 1868 FC. Reno's lineup, as you see, the man at the top, Corey Herzog. He is an amazing goal scorer. He'll play a key role tonight. As for T2, here's how it unfolds with them. Jake Leaker debuting in 2020 in goal. Cam Knowles' club looking to get their first points of the 2020 campaign, and we are just underway here at beautiful Providence Park. Alongside Laura Schott, I'm Judah Newby here on ESPN+. As you can see, the visitors wearing white tops, white shorts with the blue and gold trim. The home side T2 wearing their green and gold top and bottom. Here's a through ball being played through, but too far and into the arms of Jake Leaker, getting his first action of 2020. Leaker dealing with some injuries, but he is able to feature for the first time tonight. Cam Knowles leads T2. He's in his third season at the helm of the USL squad. Of course, a former player with T2 at the USL level and the Timbers top club at the MLS level. Cam trying to provide some consistency and stability in a season that really has lacked both for every side in USL, but of course for T2 primarily. There's a whistle into the Timbers 2 attacking half. An opportunity here to play from a set piece. Looks like T2 will pick up, play quickly, get into the attack. Coming up the right channel. Playing around, here's Duran making a run to the end line, looking to play it on the ground through into the box, cut off there. Reno deals with it. Malloy applying some pressure. Hansen coming on strong, there's a whistle. There he is, Ian Russell, in his 4th overall season at the helm of Reno 1868. Boy, his clubs always have firepower, record-setting goal seasons, both in his initial campaign in 2017 and last year in 2019. Playoff appearances both years for Reno. This ball goes out of touch. It will be a Reno throw. Laura going into this one. We mentioned, of course, Foster Langsdorff. He starts on the bench, though, for Ian Russell's side, as they start with Corey Herzog at the top of the lineup. But Reno, obviously a club with a lot of attacking firepower.
That's right, Herzog has been playing well, but also have Francois here on the left that got a goal in this last game. See early Reno attacking down that left side, trying to combine. Perhaps they'll find him here.
Herzog sends it up the left side for Cristiano Francois. On his right foot, there's a slick cut back. Cross is blocked, Timbers deal with it, but only for the moment. Reno keeps it in the attacking half. Thomas Janjigian now holds it in. Francois, he's going to be dangerous from that left side for Ian Russell tonight. Laura, for T2, it's been a season full of inconsistency, but good for them. Here's a ball back in toward the box. This is headed clear toward the end line. Francois is going to come back onto it. Francois fights to win for Reno in the attacking half. Toward the top of the box, loose. Ken Krolicky comes on. He's able to spring with advantage for Aaron Malloy, the first-round pick of the Timbers out of Penn State. As T2 tries to bring it in the attacking half, there's Aguiano on the ball for the first time. Highlighted him for a brief moment. He'll have a key role in this match tonight.
He may. He's a midfielder who has the ability on the ball.
Here's Herzog, though, on top of it. Left-footed strike on the ground, but Leaker is there to collect at the top of the 6. Played back to Hansen on the right side. Looking to make a quick turn upfield is Duran, and he's cut down hard.
Seen a lot of contact early in this game. There's already been 3 moments here in the Timbers 2 defensive half where there's been a lot of contact, and we have an early foul here, a hard foul.
This game officiated by Farhad Dodko, assisted by Babaku Jallo and Ryan Jung. Adare Monroy, the 4th official. The last action for T2 up at Tacoma back on July the 18th. That was their first match of the USL restart. A combined 35 fouls occurred in that game. Already a bit of a physical start to this one as well. Here's Aiden Stanley trying to cross one in toward the box. Dyson Clapier on it. Lays it off for Krolicky. Krolicky looking to combine for Giovanni Calixtro. Too far for him and collected by Eric De La Cerda, the goalkeeper for Reno.
For T2, that's what you want to see out of Aguiano. You want to see him near the top of the box or entering that final third, looking to unlock the defense, looking for that final ball. There he looked to play Calixtro in. Just didn't quite work out that time.
This is the first of 3 consecutive matches at home for T2. Going to come over the course of the next week and a half. Here's a long direct ball trying to slip Herzog past, but Max Ornstill tracks back well to deal with it and clear. Ornstill, one of the fixtures of the T2 lineup, this being his 4th overall season with the club, wearing the captain's armband. just underway from Providence Park. Scoreless, Reno 1868 and T2. Tracking back is Gerardo Duran, doing enough to play out of touch on that long cross to switch field. Reno comes all the way back to Janjigian. Applying a little bit of pressure, Kalikstro. Kalikstro and Duran will be featuring toward the top of the lineup. Kalikstro primarily trying to slip one through the channel, but too much. And here comes Leaker to play out his feet.
Looks to be a tactic early for both teams to get the wide backs high and into the attacking half. When you do that, you often create overloads, and overloads tend to work out into 2v1 in situations where you have numbers up and you can start to attack teams and pick them apart.
Long ball in from Krolicky, coming out to the top of the 18 is De La Cerda, and he deals with it harmlessly. Also seeing the first action of the restart, Caleb Kiner at right center back next to Ornstall. Will be key for those two players, of course, the communication. And how about Jake Leaker seeing his first action of 2020, Laura, between the pipes, communicating with his back line that's featured a few new faces.
As a coach, it's nice to have a little bit of experience, a little bit more age back there, somebody who's been there and had that experience. You can see him controlling that back line. It looks very calm.
Tucker Bone had the right idea, though, but too much on the through ball. Aaron Malloy now at his feet. He led the team with 4 total shots up at Tacoma. And the Timbers' first match of the restart. All of them coming from free kick range. Whistle blows. This goes against the home side. Farhad Dodko, the referee of tonight's match, making his 3rd foul call. He'll be in charge of keeping everybody in line tonight. Mentioned the physical affair with Tacoma Defiance on the 18th, with 35 total fouls between the two sides.
35 fouls, and I believe there were 8 cards. You have a game like that, physicality clearly plays a big role.
Krolicky with Ornstall. Timbers have had Hunter Schulte get a lot of action between the pipes so far in the 2020 campaign, both down in Phoenix and in the first match of the restart. Here's a shot with the right foot. Getting to it, De La Cerda, and Reno able to get it out of the box, but Kalikstro doing a good job to attack.
Ball coming down the right flank to Kalikstro. Sets it. Great save by the keeper. Way to get down to his right.
Looking to spring Malloy here. Denied entry. Krolicky able to play back to Ornstall. T2 looking to remain on the attack here. Alfaro intercepting. A ball intended for Malloy, turning it around is Reno. Up the right-hand side, going over the shoulder for Tucker Bone. And doing nicely to track back and intercept is Dyson Clapier. Coming all the way back for Leaker once more. Ornstall. Clapier. Krolicky. And Malloy. Aaron Malloy, first-round pick out of Penn State University. An all Big Ten first-team selection his senior season, and the most recent first-round pick in the MLS Super Draft of the Portland Timbers. Made his T2 debut up at Tacoma. We'll see a lot of him on the ball. As this game has started to settle in a bit, entering the 12th minute of play, scoreless between T2 and Reno. Near the touchline, Sergio Rivas looking to spring through Herzog. Tracks back at the byline. Right foot, cross comes in. Leaker deals with it at the top of the 6. And quickly the other way for Krolicki. Orange still now deciding to take upfield himself. Coming all the way high. To the near side it comes Duran. Duran shaded by Gleedle. Duran and Gleedle. And it goes out of touch, remains with T2. Harold Hansen will come up to join the attack and take this throw. Deep in the attacking third. Hansen's been with the squad since 2017. Longtime T2 member. Coming over hard is Herzog, but it's going to be kept into the attack by Kiner. Orange still now over on the right channel. Kalikstro. Not much space, but he'll utilize what he has. Gets it on the right foot. Krolicki will unleash a shot. It takes a touch and goes out for a corner kick. First of the match for Timbers 2, first for either side. And it comes off the foot of Krolicki.
Yeah, Krolicki lines it up here and gets a little deflection. It's nice to get that corner.
Mentioned the Big Ten with Aaron Malloy. Krolicki, of course, from Michigan State himself. An all Big Ten first teamer. And his collegiate days in East Lansing. Also has MLS experience. Right foot going to be taken in and played now in toward the 6, making a run, heading it back in toward the 6. De La Cerda able to collect, but it was Caleb Kiner sending it back into an opportunity position. First set piece comes in from the corner for the Timbers.
Didn't necessarily expect this on the corner. Play short, top of the box, outswinger with his left foot. Clearly planned before the game. Get a little bit on that, a little bit more on that off the end line. Put it back on top of the 6. Going to have a good chance to put it away.
Left-footed cross in toward the box from Partida, but here comes Leaker to deal with it. In his first action of 2020, Leaker seems dialed in.
He's been good with his feet. He's worked with T2, back line, and switching the point of attack. Very confident. Seems very comfortable coming back, taking the ball out of the air there.
Looking to play Krolicki up the attacking right side, but it goes out of touch. This match, of course, originally scheduled for Sunday the 26th, postponed by a few days. Glad to be able to play it here on this Wednesday evening. Reno, of course, had a previous matchup at Tacoma scheduled for last Thursday. That needed to be postponed. The club came out with an announcement that a member covered by the organization has tested positive for COVID-19. All the precautions took place, dealt with in a very responsible, cautious manner, and grateful to be able to get this match played here just a few days later. Meanwhile, Reno's match with Tacoma is rescheduled for early October. Babaku Jakar spots a ball going out of touch. This will be back to Reno here.
You see Glicksto on the turn. I wasn't quite sure live that it went out of bounds, and I'm still not sure there. I think it was still in.
Reno will take it. Brent Richards, right back on the right side. Former Timber Academy product himself, native of the Portland area. He's returning to Providence Park, very familiar with the City of Roses, suiting up for Reno. Gleedle, a one-touch, creative idea. Played in toward the box. But plenty of T2 players there. Kiner leads the way. Nice combination and a smart idea from Gleedle, trying to spring Francois over the top.
Yeah, I think Francois was looking for the foul there, but I'm not sure there was enough.
Laker plays a big ball into the attacking half. He'll be back on it again, just outside the box. T2, though, with the schedule consolidation, it's going to be 3 matches, all at home, but all in the span of the next 11 days. Here against Reno, then, of course, Monday with Tacoma Defiance. And they'll be back at Providence Park against Sacramento Saturday, the 8th of August, looking for their first points of the 2020 campaign. Sergio Rivas now playing it in toward the box, looking for Francois running too much again. Leaker will be able to play at the top of the 6 here. Talking to Cam Knowles as well, Laura, in the lead up to this one. And one of the themes and a challenge for him is his 3rd season as head coach, dealing with all the change, all the unknown and the inconsistency, but he's been able to take it all in stride.
It seems that he has, and you gotta sympathize and empathize with these coaches. They've had to deal with so much change, whether it's been quarantine or it's been coming back to play, or even this game itself, it was delayed. And then on top of that, you always have injuries or lineup changes and other factors. In the case of T2, you have some players that are currently in Orlando, and you may have action here, but because of the bubble in Orlando, they're not able to move players back and forth like they might in another situation. So there's lots of change. These coaches have had to deal with a lot.
Here's Gleedle cutting into the box. Gleedle on his right foot. Hansen, 6 out of left boot. Deflects it over to Leaker. Reno remains on the attack.
Great ball wide here from Francois. Gleedle comes inside. Maybe takes a little bit too long after that last touch. Once you get in the box, you've got to get the ball off your foot. There's not time to delay. If you're going to hit a shot, you're going to play a ball through, you have to make a decisive decision. You can't waste time.
Benjamin Kikanovic coming up to offer a little bit of pressure on Leaker. Settling here, Duran plays it back to Hansen. Malloy. Kiner. Done solid so far. Moments ago, Richards played a long throw in toward the box, but Kiner up to the challenge against Herzog. Also did well at an earlier attacking opportunity for the Timbers, heading one in toward the 6. His first action in the back line. Ian Russell with some poise, looking at his squad over the shoulder. Gleedle throwing it in. Carrying it all the way up into the attack. Takes a touch, falls in toward the 18, but Leaker deals with it. Always aware of the 21 shirt. Corey Herzog, one of the dynamic goal scorers this league has to offer. And of course, T2 fans will recognize the name of Foster Langsdorff. He starts on the bench for Ian Russell in this one. A former first-round pick of the Portland Timbers. In his first action with Reno. There he is in the 11. Francois navigates Carries up pitch. Gleedle joins, a chance to cross. He does so low to the top of the 6. Cleared high in the air. And out for a goal kick. Comes to fullbacks joining the attack. Gleedle getting a lot of action upfield for Ian Russell's side.
Yeah, I really like watching how Reno uses their wide backs. Now they get them up the field. There's a lot of interchange between Gleedle and Francois. Then when Gleedle will take space up the field, Francois will move inside to the central channel and inside of the field. That gives Gleedle space and time to look for crossing opportunities.
It'll actually be a corner kick. First of the night for Reno. Leaker comes out. It is through the box and out to the opposite side for the second corner. Consecutively it comes for the visitors. Dangerous ball there.
Very dangerous ball. As a goalkeeper, you have to make the decision whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go, and their Leaker goes, and he doesn't quite make contact with the ball. But in the times that he's touched the ball so far in the game, he's been very solid.
Francois and Rivas. It will be Francois. Falls to the top of the 6. Calixtro a foot to clear. Reno looking to hold it in the attacking half. And coming on hard to pressure is Clapier. Ball played back in through the box. Could be something for Herzog. However, the flag is up. Ryan Jung, the far side official, making that call. Duran, he's able to draw a whistle. Gleedle disagrees. Babaku Jakar affirms, yes, too much, my friend. Look at the speed of Duran.
Another great run down the line. Gleedle just kind of bumps him with his right elbow there. Probably could have gone either way.
Farhad Dodko explaining the ruling to Kevin Partita and Corey Herzog. Could be a dangerous position here for T2. None other than Aaron Malloy over it. Gotta love the sounds of the game as well. Of course, no fans inside Providence Park in what is otherwise always a raucous atmosphere. Almost eerily quiet, but the sounds of the game alive and well from pitch level. Ready for the restart. Malloy, hand in the air, brings it home. Floats to the corner of the 6. Cleared away for a moment. Durant back on top of it. Looking to play through Stanley. A one-time cross blocked. Out of the byline and out for a Timbers corner. Aiden Stanley, of course, someone Coach Knowles highlighted to us that he hopes to join the attack from the left back position. He's got USL experience from his native St. Louis FC side. That was as an amateur, though, before playing collegiately 2 years with the Duke Blue Devils. And now signing with T2. Malloy once again, right foot in swing. The Penn State product sends it in. Kralicki, one-timer. Ornstill, and blocked out. Saved by De La Cerda.
That was a very good save. Nice run by Ornstill there.
And it'll be on for another corner for the Timbers. How about this one? Malloy, Kralicki, and Ornstill.
That was a great effort there by Kralicki. Just barely off frame, but Ornstill, though, he goes to frame the goal. Almost gets it back on track, but again, a corner.
Timbers continue to threaten. Malloy's been busy this half. He'll offer another service, this time an outswing. Lays a line drive that carries to the top of the 18. Stanley now to his left foot. Sends it in, blocked by Alfaro. Stanley still in hot pursuit. Kikanovich looking to deny. Kralicki, a touch to settle. A left-footed ball. Malloy heads it back central, but De La Cerda intercepts. What do you make of possession so far from both sides in the first half, Laura?
Well, Reno seems very comfortable having the ball in their back line. When they decide to go, they go very quickly. There they try to
to break down numbers on the right side of the field on T2's left side, but more indicative of Reno's attack is that they create these overloads. Here you see Gleedle going forward, and Francois will come down and head back up the field. It's just trying to create space and then exploit that space high.
Speaking of exploiting, Hansen goes down briefly, so Francois tried to capitalize with Gleedle. Settling now is Bo. Partida. Looking to switch back through, but Hansen deals with it comfortably. T2 looking to get out on the break. Tripped up is Duran. Foul called on Partida. T2 will maintain possession.
I think the players are trying to figure out the cadence of the game a little bit right now. Early on, the referee was letting it go a bit. There might have been a few fouls that could have been called or were not called in the first 5 minutes, and now it seems a little bit tighter. Sometimes you do that to control the game. Don't want it to get out of hand, don't want it to get out of touch, especially when you have teams coming in that have been collecting a lot of cards along the way.
Krlicki switching field. Coming on over, Caleb Kiner. Hansen near touch, plays it back in for Malloy. Sending it forward, Partida though, looking for Francois, nothing there. Partida coming up with pressure on Krlicki, does so effectively to the tune of Krlicki playing back to his keeper. And Leaker a one-time back upfield. Clapier able to do enough to earn a throw for T2. Stanley will take it. Looking to spring Calixtro. A little miscommunication, dealt with comfortably by the visiting side.
Yeah, here you see Reno comfortable on the ball again, but again, more indicative of their attacks that they try to play quickly forward, or they try to play a long ball and hit Francois or Gleedle in behind, or they might look for Herzog on the run.
Bit of a soft whistle there against Krlicki. Now Gleedle carrying up. Nicely done to intercept for T2. Krlicki back on the ball. Now Clapier. Stanley turning around. Clapier again. Back inside on the right foot. Takes a touch toward the goal off of Calixtro. Totally caught the keeper De La Cerda off guard, but it was wide of goal.
And from this angle, I thought it was going to get a very fortuitous deflection there, but lines us up. Tries to bend it on frame and takes the deflection wide.
Gleedle playing from outside back in still. Gleedle all the way to the top of the box. Bone now looking to slip one through for Herzog. I think he knew he was off and lets it pass for a Timbers goal kick. "133 days separated T2 matches back from their first opening match all the way in early March down at Phoenix Rising, and then finally with their first match of the resumption of play up at Tacoma. Getting a hydration break here as we've hit the half-hour mark, as is common here for the USL restart. Coach Cam Knowles talking strategy with his players, chiefly Harold Hansen there. Knowles, a longtime former player with the USL T2 side, and of course with the Timbers of the MLS. He's been in his 12th overall season in some capacity with T2. With a strong assistant coaching staff. There's Ian Russell doing the same. What do you think some of the messages are, Laura, from the respective coaching staffs as we hit the half-hour mark?
We see Coach Knowles talking to the back line there, and Hansen has a tall order today, and he's been a starter for T2 and a solid back. And they have Francois on his side. They have Herzog that sometimes comes into his space. They overload that space with Herzog coming forward. So he has a lot to deal with.
And Russell's squad's one of the most potent attacking squads in the league. As we'll see some of the top moments from the first half hour. Timbers have had some quality chances, Laura.
Yeah, that was fun. That was such a great ball there. And to come across, take that with the outside of your right foot, try to put it on frame. Or still though.
Carlos Aguiano with service in as well from earlier in the match.
Right, another framing opportunity, tried to put the ball back in the middle of the goal and not quite there.
But a couple of similar chances there with balls being played to the right side of the box and headed back in. There is Carlos Sanguino.
Yeah, that ball to the right side of the box appears to be part of the game plan.
We're back in action. 32nd minute overall. Francois winning a throw-in for Reno against Harold Hansen. Mentioned Aguiano at the top of the cast as well. One of the local names. There are many. An Academy product from Salem, Oregon. Coming over to block the would-be crosses, Kiner. But it's going to be out for a corner kick for Reno. Francois tracking back, likely to take. In this matchup, T2 and Reno. They have met combined 8 times. 6 of those Reno victories. 1 draw, 1 Timbers victory. Francois whips it in, Leaker a punch. Get it out of the way. Clapier tracking down and doing well to clear all the way upfield back into Reno's defensive half. The lone victory, though, in the series for T2 came the last time these two teams met. Last August in Reno. 3-1 T2 victory on the road. Now looking to replicate those efforts here on the home pitch of Providence Park. It'll be a throw-in from the far side for Aiden Stanley here. Calixtro holding up against Alfaro. Combining. Calixtro now getting some more pressure from Rivas. Aguiano. Played back to Ornstall. Switches to his center back partner, Kiner. Now Duran. Gleedle deals with it, earns the foul.
Unfortunate there. Duran, long touch and a little bit of perhaps frustration. T2 on the left side there with Stanley, Dyson, Aguiano. They showed some patience. Tried to go down the left side, looked to switch it back out to the right. Keeping possession there is really key. If you can keep the ball for a bit, wait for your opportunity, maybe get Aguiano back on the ball. Perhaps Malloy, look for that final pass into the box.
Oh, a giveaway here. Calixtro has it. Timbers looking to join the attack. Kralicki with some pace. Right-footed cross in toward the box. Looking to meet it with a header. Calixtro just couldn't get it on frame. Skips through the box. Malloy giving chase. And now Reno trying to counter the other way. Partida. To the near side it comes. Gleedle holds it in. Working past Hansen, left-footed cross, Leaker able to get a touch, the follow, blocked by Stanley.
Wow, what a team defensive effort there. Wonderful save by Leaker here. Gleedle down the left side and he plays that ball across, Leaker gets a touch to it, and then to put your body in front of that ball and block that shot. That was well done by Stanley.
Bit of an exhale for the moment. Francois looking to keep the attacking pressure. Bone up to the right side on frame, but Leaker punches it clear once more and out for a Reno throw near the corner flag.
That's one of those balls that a seasoned goalkeeper will punch out there. You see how much distance he got on it. He sent it out of bounds, but it didn't bounce until it got outside of the box. And to be able to punch the ball out like that and make that read, it's very intelligent by Leaker.
He's had a lot of action in this opening half. Ornstall, a physical clearance there, but now Francois looking to keep it. Sends it toward the 6. Krulicki clears, but Francois battling hard with Duran. Gleedle from his right foot. Dealt with by Krulicki. Aguiano. Clapier, but cutting off Partida. And plays it back to Janjigian. Oh, in the last few minutes, Reno is pressured. Looking to break through with that first, but Leaker's been up to the task, as has the Timbers back line. Still more to work with here. Malloy, though, alertly tracks back to deal with that one in front of Francois. Plays out of touch.
Wait. Harold, Julie, you got him? You got him? Harold. Hey, get to him. No.
Coming on hard is Durant. Working on Herzog.
Go, Harold.
Gleedle, near side. Here's a combination. Herzog, Francois plays it low on the ground toward the 6. Loose, another touch. Left-footed chance. Not there. Aguiano helping to defend. And cleared out of harm's way. This one finds Gleedle, though. Gleedle playing it through. Rivas toward the keeper. Charging Francois. Herzog collides with Leaker. And the keeper is down for T2. Oh, Jake Leaker has been asked to do so much in this opening half. His first action of the season. Looked like
another good save and a brave read by Leaker. Not quite sure what caught him there.
a hard charge by Rivas. Herzog, Ornstall, Leaker, they all meet.
Yeah, Herzog came in strong with the knees.
Looks like the training staff on to get a look at the T2 veteran keeper, who's done well to keep Reno off the board so far in the opening half. Stephanie Ludwig, the head athletic trainer, out to get a look at keeper. And of course, Jake back on his feet, gives the thumbs up. Gonna stay in this one. A little shaken up, but the toughness to deal with it. Corner kick for Reno on the restart. Comes in toward the byline. Cleared by Krulicki. Reaching out with the left boot, but it goes past Janjigian and out for a goal kick. Getting a quick look at Hunter Schulte moments ago, warming up on the sideline for T2. Should Leaker have to exit the match? Schulte, a rangy player. As you see his frame, it's going about 6'7", a native of Lincoln, Nebraska. He's already seen action in 2 matches this USL campaign, the only 2 so far played, both down at Phoenix in March, and of course, played the full 90 at Tacoma. A Timbers Academy product. Scoreless 40th minute, but Reno's been on the attack much of the past 10 minutes, and they are again here with Francois. Cutting inside. Right-footed strike finds the upper 90. Christian Francois, a stunner at Providence Park, and Reno takes the 1-0 advantage.
Here you see Francois take that touch to his left, explode to the right, bends that ball perfectly just inside that far post. Not much Leaker could do there.
Christian Francois fired up after that one. Reno takes the 1-0 edge. It's their first goal of the USL restart, having been shut out in their first and only match since the league resumed 1-0 at Sacramento. Second goal of the season for Francois. 1-0 to the visitors. Ornstill taken off the ball here by Herzog, but back in toward Kalikstro. Kalikstro trying to win toward the top of the box. Richards comes back to calm it down and send it forward. Dribbling in toward the box. And the cross comes off of Ornstill and out for a Reno corner. That was Kikanovic to win. Ornstill. He was playing along a different center back partner in Tacoma and Williams Velasquez, who was on loan from Watford FC, the Premier League. Velasquez not on the roster sheet for tonight. Caleb Kiner at the right center back alongside Ornstill, who's wearing the armband for the Timbers. Another corner here, Francois off the right foot, sends it in. Malloy a header. Second ball, finds the turf, and Hansen clears out of danger. Still Reno fresh off the goal scored by Francois a couple of moments ago. Hansen now carrying upfield. You can hear Cam Knowles saying, go, go. Played up the right side, looking for a charging Duran. Too much on it with Gleedle tracking back. And it's out for a goal kick. De La Cerda to play back to front. De La Cerda not the keeper in the last match for Reno. Ben Beery was the man between the pipes for 1868, I should say, and nearly had a clean sheet. Reno dealt with an unfortunate defeat to Sacramento on the road. 1-0, the only goal coming in second half stoppage time. Aiden Stanley, the product of Duke University. With the throw in, Kalikstro earning the foul here, so an opportunity. Could be in a dangerous spot for T2. Little something extra at the end of that whistle. Malloy quickly plays. Aguiano. Kalikstro looking to spring Aguiano once more. Whistle blows. Looks like we'll have our first card of the match, and it is. Leave the 5 in white. Tony Alfaro.
Quick little set piece, and Aguiano looks inside and finds Kalikstro. That first touch might have gotten away with him, but you go in high like that, it's always dangerous on top of the box.
Had those 8 cautions combined in the Tacoma match, the first of tonight's affair. Alfaro goes in the book in the 44th. Dangerous opportunity here, Laura. T2 could steal the equalizer right before half. Seen a lot of Malloy in this position. Aguiano, though, right over his shoulder.
Some Malloy in the Tacoma game look for a ball about this spot in swinging with his right foot. See if he does it again. You have Aguiano on the ball too, though. You've got another great option.
Farhad Dodko is making sure everybody's ready for this. Here's Malloy sending it on frame, but just over the bar. Flirted with the crossbar, just a little high. Malloy from just outside the box.
Malloy lining that up. I thought maybe he'd go far post, but he chooses to swing this in near.
See how much stoppage time we get here. It'll be 2 minutes for this opening half. Reno a 1-0 lead. Ian Russell barking out instructions for the throw-in to come back into the back line. Janjigian and Alfaro switching to the right side. Comes back to the feet of Janjigian. Now Gleedle on the near side touch. Duran defending. Francois, the goal scorer. Hansen dealing with him. Partida taken off. Calixtro quickly turning around. Calixtro, the Cornelius native, lays it off for Aguiano, the Salem native, but his cross is blocked out of touch. Stays with T2 in the attacking third. Duran, one touch, Aguiano. On the ground, Malloy, one time and toward the box. Cleared out with a header by Alfaro. Whistle blows, goes against T2. Kerlicki wanting an explanation for that one. All going for Gleedle, goes out. And there's the whistle. That's the end of the first half from Providence Park. Christian Francois, the goal scorer, to put Reno on top first, deep into the first half. It is 1-0 for the visitors over Portland Timbers 2. I'll take a short break. We'll come back and recap the first half. Look ahead to half number 2 as well. A beautiful Wednesday evening in Soccer City, USA. T2 trails 1-0 on ESPN+. Halftime at Providence Park, 1-0. Reno leading Portland Timbers 2 at the break. And let's take a look at the USL Academy Structure.
A critical player development strategy within the USL Academy League model is player promotion through each player registration status. Through this process, top young talent will continually be challenged by playing up with older players, and the best players will eventually integrate into the USL senior team environment. Player promotion begins through the talent identification process, where top U15 through U19 players from the youth network will be evaluated under the philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough. Once a player excels in the USL Academy League, they will be given the opportunity to integrate into a senior team environment. As they assimilate and meet senior team standards, USL Championship and League One clubs will be able to offer the most talented players professional or amateur contracts with their senior team. This mechanism is especially key, as it provides the players ready to go pro with a direct path to do so. clubs in League 2 will use their senior team to provide their top young talents experience with college-age players during the summer. Players signing amateur contracts at any of these levels are provided the chance to experience the senior team level of play at a young age, while still maintaining their college eligibility. By pushing more top young players across the US into professional environments, the USL will play a key role in improving the overall level of the elite American player, ultimately helping us reach, if not exceed, our potential as a soccer nation at the international level. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
1-0 Reno over Portland Timbers 2 at the break. T2 will try to respond in the second half. We'll be back in a moment on ES. Welcome back inside Providence Park. Christian Francois, the lone goal scorer through the opening 45. Reno 1868 leads Portland Timbers 2 by a score of 1-0. Let's take a look at the standings around USL, primarily Group A, of which both of our sides tonight are located just below the top two lines, with Sacramento and Tacoma at the top.
Hey, you got Sac and Tacoma, and tonight we have a critical matchup between 3 and 4. See if there's any movement there in the next couple games, but winner tonight will make some headway clearly.
Tacoma, the side that Portland Timbers 2 will see this upcoming Monday night right here at Providence Park on ESPN+. Plenty going on in USL Championship for 2020, Laura, and of course it's taking a unique format for this restart.
Yeah, really the storyline here is that there's change again. This isn't what they're used to. This isn't how they're usually set up. There's usually Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and now they're set up in groups of 4 or 5. Teams hosting fans. We now have fans in the stadiums. Not all stadiums, but stadiums are starting to open up. And then the PGA Championship in 2021 is going to be in Charleston. Charleston Battery are linking up with the PGA Championship to create exclusive offers for Charleston Battery fans.
Yeah, it's always a fun event. Cool to see that partnership between two great leagues, PGA and USL. First half stats, you see them unfold. Christian Francois, the lone goal scorer so far, but T2, the advantage in shots, but on goal, advantage to the visitors. Reno with the majority of possession. What did you see in that opening half?
You see that T2 is getting some shots. You're getting more shots than Reno, but Reno's capitalized with their lone goal on that zinger from Francois, coming from the left to right. Really placed that ball well. There wasn't much that T2 could do once that ball left his foot.
Combined 11 fouls, just 1 caution so far in this match. 1-0, Reno leads Timbers 2. We'll go away and come back and bring you second half action from the corner of 18th and Morrison, Providence Park on ESPN+. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. And welcome back, Soccer City, USA. 1-0, Reno 1868 leads Timbers 2 on a 40th minute goal by Christian Francois. Some highlights from the opening half.
And Malloy plays this ball into Krolicki. Almost gets enough on it, but it just slides off the right side of his foot, starts to go wide, but Orange still puts it back on frame. Great save by the keeper.
One of 2 saves made by Eric De La Cerda in that opening frame for Reno.
Here you have Aguiano with that left foot. He plays it in. Again, T2 tries to play it back across the goal, but great save made.
Jake Leaker was kept busy, and he held up for much of it in that opening half in his first action of 2020.
Yeah, Leaker in his comeback, he made some great saves, plays that ball just wide of the goal out of danger.
How about this moment of brilliance from Christian Francois on the 40th?
There's not really much you have to say about this one. Dragging Duran to the left, cuts out right, and then just buries that ball upper right. Here you have Malloy on the free kick. Tries to bend the ball near post. Just barely misses high off the crossbar.
And second half action is just about ready to begin between Portland and Reno. Timbers will take the second half kickoff. One change made for the visitors of Reno. Jared Trimmer coming on for Ian Russell's side. He's on the ball here out at the right center back spot for Reno. That's the lone change made in the break. Timbers 2, the advantage in total shots in that opening half, but the one that mattered belonged to Christian Francois. Reno the advantage in shots on target, 4-2. Same group for Cam Knowles' side to open this second half. Aiden Stanley here, taking the throw. Stanley debuted up in Tacoma, back on the 18th for Timbers 2. Janjigian at his feet. Over to Sam Gleadle. Saw a lot from Gleadle joining the attack for Reno in that opening half.
Gleadle did a lot of work to get up that left side and combine with Francois and with Herzog. And do a good job of dragging defenders or trying to drag defenders out of position and then exploit the space those defenders vacated.
What are some keys for T2 in this second half to try to find that equalizer, Laura?
Well, as we saw in the halftime stats, T2 has created some opportunities and has had 7 shots in the first half. So it's not that they haven't gotten a goal. In the second half, we need to see them break down the back line maybe a little bit earlier, maybe some earlier balls from Aguiano and Malloy, and maybe break that back line, get some chances that way.
De La Cerda playing out of the back, Francois controlling at his feet. Reno comfortable on the ball, now turning upfield, Partita. Francois out of the middle, something could be here. Francois with confidence. To the right side, Stanley slides in to break up the cross. Clapier looking to clear and does so well for T2. Second time tonight that Stanley's come in with an aggressive block just at the right time.
Nice ball wide there from Francois. Reno gets a shot off, but Stanley, for the second time today, is able to recover and get his body down. Make a good play on the shot.
Brent Richards, the Portland area native who was denied that opportunity on goal by Aiden Stanley. This ball goes out to Jake Leaker. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today. Get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2, then click on the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on T2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Aguiano. Tracking back is Tucker Bone. He takes an elbow from Clapier to deny T2 that opportunity. Direct ball looking through. Herzog trying to settle. Aguiano helps track back to deal with it. Actually, that was Kiner for the home club. Francois, though, still with it. Francois with space near the top of the box. Chips it in. Hansen intercepts in the air with a header. Durant on the far side to Malloy. Aguiano looking to make a run. Malloy sees him, but plays it too central. And the new man on the pitch is able to deal with it. And Jared Trimmer. Partida up the right channel, works around Clapier. Stays on the ball. To Bone, Richards. Coming back in toward the middle. Rivas, Ornstill able to get in the way, but only as far as Francois. Over to the left side it goes. Gleedle stabs over. Working on Durant. Gleedle left foot on the ground. But there is Caleb Kiner. Calixtro looking to spring Durant the other way. Some contact there. Francois wins. Calixtro not giving up. Neither is Malloy. And yet it's Reno's Richards to keep it in the attacking half. One 0 to the visitors. Seen a lot of that man on the ball tonight. And Francois, the lone goal scorer in the 40th minute. Ooh. Almost able to intercept that switch is Calixtro. Richards one time up in toward the corner of the box. Kikanovic trying to get there, and it's going to be out. Still in possession of Reno. Babaku Jakar at the spot with which Richards will make this throw deep in the attacking third. Sends it in toward the box. Aguiano the first one there, but a one-timer sends it in. Another one for the visitors. 2-0 Reno, 1868. I believe that was Rivas on the one-timer. The 10 shirt in white, Sergio Rivas. Another moment of brilliance. Boy, Reno, though they had the majority of possession, both goals were simply incredible and impressive. That one past Leaker for Sergio Rivas.
Yeah, the second goal for Reno off the clearance, just to take a chance on it. Put that far post with that much pace on it. It's a brilliant finish by Rivas.
So 2-0 now to Reno. T2 looking to respond and respond early to that one. Here's Kroliki trying to play one through. But nothing there for Durant. Easy for De La Cerda. Still have yet to see Foster Langsdorff enter this match for Reno, the longtime former T2 standout. Flag goes up, Aiden Stanley goes down. Tucker Bone, the guilty party of that foul, grabbing the right wrist of Stanley. Babagu Jakar all over it. See Bone and Stanley.
Yeah, it's just two strong players in pursuit of the ball, but when a ball's going out like that and it's shielded, you really don't have to go in. It's very unlikely that you're going to get a hold of that ball.
Stanley's had to cover a lot of pitch tonight. Tracking back in defense and also joining the attack often from his left back spot. Jake Leaker to send forward. He made 3 saves in that opening half. It's been a busy night for him. T2 looking for something in the attacking half now. Stanley to take this throw. Surveys what's in front. But Reno the first to deal with it. Herzog met by Stanley. Richards sending a one-time ball forward. Rivas, fresh off the goal, looking to make something happen here. Whistle blows. Rivas draws the foul. Caution comes out, the second of the match. The first for T2. Caleb Kiner, the guilty party.
Yeah, Stanley comes upfield here, and this is really pretty intelligent foul. In that situation, you're 1v1 and players gotten behind you, but that's the reason for the card as well. It wasn't necessarily a extremely aggressive or terrible foul. It was just that it was last man, and he pulled him down.
Francois and Rivas will be over this free kick for Reno, the 2 goal scorers for the visiting side. Farhad.co making sure Duran and Clapier are the appropriate distance. Francois sending it in. Not much trouble for Leaker to catch. He'll swing it out quickly to the right side. Timbers hoping to counter. Malloy starts it on the right side. Hansen joins. Durant looking to turn it around. Galito being quite physical. There's a whistle, and it goes against Gerardo Duran. Reno has yet to play a home game for themselves this USL season, but that will come up for them in the 7th week of the USL campaign next week. This the home opener for T2 after a couple of road matches. Calixtro, an opportunity from distance on the right boot, but sends it high and wide. From about 30.
I like the Calixtro takes the turn here and decides to let it go. I'd like to see him do it a little bit quicker, get the ball off his foot. You take a little bit longer on the shot. Keeper has time to get into position. If you get that ball off your foot a little bit faster, you can sometimes catch the goalkeeper out of position.
Aguiano looking to spring Kraliki through, unable to connect. Duran able to track it down. He's had a tough battle with Galito all night. Wanting to combine with Kraliki. Can't connect, and it's out for a goal kick. Of the 35 USL Championship sides, only 1 remained unbeaten going into this evening's set of games. That was Hartford. Victorious in all 3 of their matches so far, but even Hartford unbeaten no more, suffering their first defeat at the hands of Indy FC. At Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis earlier this evening, so no unbeaten teams remain in the USL 2020. Orange still. Classy work of defending done by the captain. Deals with it confidently. Calixtro offering a little bit of one-man pressure. Trimmer is the new sub. He plays upfield for Reno. Coming on hard, Jacobs with Stanley. Excuse me, Richards. Stanley goes down, holding his lower left leg. Went down a moment ago with Tucker Bone committing a foul toward the end line, this time coming in hard to beat Richards. There's a caution, 3rd of the match. 2nd for the visitors, and it's the former Portland Academy product, Richards, who's shown the yellow. Stephanie Ludwig is on, the head trainer for T2, to look at Stanley. 2nd time she's been called into duty after looking at Jake Leaker in the first half. Stanley, one of those players that Cam Knowles has highlighted to us, Laura, that his versatility will certainly play a role. Hoping to bring him more and more into the attack from the left back position. And he's been busy tonight.
Yeah, we've certainly seen some of that this evening. He gets forward and then sometimes he'll get into the attacking third. We've also seen him on the defensive end make a couple of great plays, getting back to block balls and even hustle plays, getting back to the end line to defend.
Babaku Jakar, the assistant referee, having a brief conversation with Ian Russell here. And Stanley is going to start off the pitch after being looked at by the training staff. He's almost ready to come back on. Ornstall will be the first to take on this restart. Stanley, 2 years of ACC experience with the Duke Blue Devils, also plenty of action as a USL amateur with St. Louis FC prior to his collegiate days, and here he comes back on. Meanwhile, Duran looking to get creative with a back heel flick, but Reno deals with it. Bones sending upfield. Ornstall to the feet of the newly re-entered Aiden Stanley. On the ground with his left boot. No one there, though, except Francois. Plays it back to Janjigian. T2 bringing up their pressure a little higher here in this second half. This is Aguiano to make life difficult on Partita. Francois, a couple of touches to settle. Combines with Gleedle. Saw a lot of that combination on the left-hand side in the opening frame. More Francois here, past Duran. Looking to come back in. Boy, he's on the ball a ton. Comfortable possession for the visitors. They had the advantage in that category, 55-45 in the opening frame. Richards joining the attack more often up the right side. Shadowed by Clapier. Leads it off for Rivas, the second half goal scorer. Trimmer for Bone. Stanley stabs at it, does so effectively. Rivas, Richards, Ornstall, and Malloy looking to help. Congestion in the attacking half for Reno, but it's Malloy who wins for T2. Over the shoulder of Duran, dealt with by Gleedle. Francois with some space. Hansen meets him. Francois overthought it, and Hansen takes it away. A little too much on a touch, though, from Harold. Coming back the other way. Kikanovich into the box with his left foot, but denied entry there by Caleb Kiner. He felt the wrong end of that one. Reaches to his lower right leg. Kiner's put in a gritty effort so far, making his start tonight for T2 at the right center back. Can't be easy when you're putting in those kind of minutes, obviously, in this climate, a heavy air out here tonight at Providence Park, as there has been these last few weeks. And Stephanie Ludwig coming out to look at Kiner.
Yeah, it certainly appears that maybe a cramp. It's getting something and stretching out, so it might just be a calf cramp. When you get in the later minutes of games, though, especially after quarantine and all the starts and goes that these teams have had, fitness starts to play a big role. Hydration, fitness, the minutes start to add up. You're not quite used to them. Cramps will start to show up. The fitness or the lack of fitness will start to show, depending on which side of that coin you're on.
Francois will take the corner for Reno, whips it in. It's a turf once. Looks like Kroliki there to help clear it away. Francois with some space up the far side. Here he comes with pace. A deflection, Bono one time, but Ornstill just there in time to deny with a block. And it's out for a T2 throw on the far side. A third time that a one-time shot has been made available for Reno, but Portland able to deal with it. This time Ornstill being the latest. On to the pitch. Mitchell Ferguson, the 76 in green, comes on for T2.
It's a big stop for T2 there. Good play for Ornstill, especially given that Kiner was off the field and they were playing with 10 men.
And it is Ferguson that replaces Kiner at right center back for Cam Knowles' squad. Ferguson got 12 minutes in as a substitute at Tacoma in T2's last match. Had to part with injury, had a shoulder injury in that match, but good to see Ferguson able to bounce back and come back this week. Harold Hansen ready to take this throw into minute 66. Durant, corner of the box, with Partita on him, and Gleadle. Malloy is able to bring it down. Ornstill up the left side. 3 touches. Clapier gets it back to him. Clapier now from Stanley. Aguiano. Ferguson gets his first touches. Malloy sending wide Hansen. Combining with Kruliki to the feet of Durant. Gleadle cuts him off. Sends it wide. Kruliki hard back onto the ball. A would-be souvenir for the fans. Should there be any. A different atmosphere inside one of the more raucous atmospheres in Major League Soccer. Providence Park. Sans Timbers Army on this Wednesday evening in the summer. Orange still a bit of a false step, but able to recover enough for Aguiano. Stanley looking for a diagonal ball for Durant. Pressuring Gleadle off of Durant, just out, and it will be a goal kick. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in the spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. 4th card of the evening being shown here. The second, though, for T2, and it belongs to the captain, Max Ornstill.
Reno playing to part of their game plan there. They play that ball from backside of the middle third there, that long ball. They've looked for that many times during the game, often into Herzog, but they look for Kokanovic there and taken down by Ornstill.
Max also had a caution in the Tacoma match. 2 for each side with the Yellows. Caleb Kiner, who has since departed. The other holding the yellow for T2. Set piece opportunity, Francois and Rivas, the 2 goal scorers. Rivas with the right foot to take toward the top. Aguiano the first to it with a header. Second ball comes in. No problems, out for a goal kick. Laker will look to play this one deep. Strong ball over the shoulder. There's a whistle. Calixtro called for it. Partita sends it up pitch. Ornstill does well to track back. Heads down to Malloy. T2 possesses. Aguiano cuts back. Calixtro. Aguiano over to the right side. Ferguson with some space, so he'll carry it into the attacking half. Still Mitchell Ferguson. Aguiano disperses to Stanley. Tried to get it on his left boot. Anticipating that, though, was Trimmer, or excuse me, Bone. He takes it off of Stanley. Still T2, though, in the attack. Kalikstro playing back in. Malloy. Malloy nearly was able to net one off a free kick opportunity in the first half just outside the box, but it sailed high in the crossbar. Bone intercepts here. Good idea from Kalikstro to try to keep it in for T2. A lot of navigation from Gleedle, and effectively so, but Herzog trying to streak with it, runs out of gas, and it goes out of touch.
Judy, you're exactly right. This was a lot of navigation. He gets a hold of this ball, cuts by a couple players, and keeps going. You can see over time in this game, for both teams, here for T2, the legs are starting to get tired, starting to stab at some balls. Some balls are not connecting that might have in the first half. And you'd think in a situation, a very hot day, that it would play a little bit into Reno's hands just because of their training environment.
T2 looking to keep up that pressure and try to find that first goal of the 2020 restart. If you go back to the USL opener before the season was put on pause, Tomas Konechny, the lone goal scorer for T2 in the 2020 stat book so far, getting one at Phoenix. Since the restart, T2 looking to crack the scorebook for the first time. Flirted with it a couple of moments, but looking for that one that finds the back of the net. Aguiano sensing Partita, cuts inside. Clapier shoved down, there's the whistle. An opportunity here. Dyson Clapier's been active on the left wing. And centrally here, Malloy over the ball. Reno content to sink back a bit. Orange still with Stanley. One-time cross comes in, header on goal, it's in! T2 cracks the scoreboard, Gerardo Duran. And it's 2-1 here in the 73rd minute.
Talk about tired legs, but Stanley gets down the line there and sends that cross in. That's a left back getting down to the end line to send this across. Perfectly placed cross into Duran. Well done by Duran to finish.
May have taken a deflection there to find the back of the net. Gerardo Duran puts the home side right back in it. Lead cut in half, new life for T2 as we come down the stretch.
Well, maybe we see some new life now. Get a goal like that late in the game, sometimes your legs start to perk up a little bit, got a little bit more energy.
And we'll see if Cam Knowles, though the bench is thin, as it's been the last few weeks, is there any strategy to be deployed in the range of substitutions? In the restart, USL rules state you get 5 substitutions to use at your disposal over the course of the match at 3 different events of the match, not including halftime. We saw Ian Russell use a substitute at halftime. That does not count as one of his substitutions. And speaking of Russell, I believe we'll go to a familiar name in moments here. Stanley once again playing it in toward the 6. Still loose, Kroliki trying to settle, comes out, collides with De La Cerda. No whistle. Malloy back on it. Duran taking off the ball, but comes back to win. Ferguson, Malloy, plays centrally. Kalikstro steps over once and twice. To the right boot he goes. Malloy from distance, wide. Substitutes coming. And it's a familiar name for fans of the Portland Timbers and T2. Of course, Dabo in the 17 in whites, but it's the latter to draw our eyes. Foster Langsdorff set to enter in moments for Ian Russell's club as Partida walks off. Mohamed Dabo on for Partida in the 76th. And the man who scored a combined 21 goals wearing the Timbers 2 kit over the past 2 seasons, ready to see action at Providence Park for the first time as a visitor, Foster Langsdorff at the top of the formation. A bit of a friendly elbow from the captain, Max Ornstill, and we're off with Langsdorff on the pitch, replacing Herzog. Final 15 minutes plus stoppage time awaits in a 2-1 ball game. God, it's just a different feeling seeing Langsdorff in a kit other than the green and gold. But as he comes on, anticlimactically so, a hydration break in the second half, Laura. But we do sense it, Cam Knowles' side rejuvenated after finding that goal from Gerardo Duran moments ago to cut this deficit in half, 2-1. T2's first goal of the USL restart. Hopefully it's a cathartic moment for them, and coming down the stretch, they'll maintain that energy. Meanwhile, yes.
It's certainly interesting to see Langsdorff in a different uniform. We'll see what he brings to this game. He got a rest about 30 seconds after he went in, along with the rest of the field there.
Well, it's been a busy second half. Let's check out some of the top moments of the half hour we've seen so far.
Nice ball wide from Francois there.
Hell yeah. Aiden Stanley has had a couple of key blocks, this time denying the Portland native Richards. But this time not so fortunate. The one time from Rivas made it 2-0.
That ball pops out. Rivas is ready. He gets his foot on it, drives it home, far post. Can't place it any better than that.
However, Stanley able to distribute central. And Duran was able to cut the deficit in half moments ago.
Yeah, right after we talked about those tired legs, Stanley refutes it. He says, I'm ready. Gets end line, sends that cross over to Duran, who finishes. Great finish by Duran.
Duran made it 2-1. Richards to take the throw after the hydration break. In the area of Langsdorff, directed toward Rivas, over to Francois, who's got one to his name already. Hansen denies him at the top. Rivas plays it back. Francois slips in the attacking third. That goes out of touch. T2 will take that fortune. And it'll be Hansen. Boy, what a feeling for Hansen and Ornstill in the back line, dealing with a former teammate of theirs in Langsdorff, whom they went up against in training many times over. This is Ferguson, able to track back, get a left boot to take that one off the carpet. One time from Kalikstro, looking for Kroliki, out of touch, and T2 will maintain it with a throw. Hansen comes up the pitch to take it. Kalikstro turning in toward center circle. Ornstill looking a little too tall for Dyson Clapier. Out of touch. Another substitution for Ian Russell here. Emilio Yakaza set to enter the field of play. And he comes on for Benjamin Kikanovic here in the 79th. Reno bringing some high pressure. Kalikstro wanting to play it on with a one-touch through for Aguiano, but it's Richards instead. Oh, heads up by Clapier to take it off Richards, but the flag is up. No good deed goes unpunished. Offsides for T2.
That was a close one. That was a nice little ball, but it was very close on Aguiano being off or on sides there at the time the ball was played.
Yeah, Lacerda taking his time. Sends forward. Langsdorff in the area, as was Ornstall. Langsdorff rises with a header. But the second ball down by Ferguson. Handball. Russell disagrees, as does all of Reno on the field. Yakaza, though, is the one that committed the error. Back to T2 it goes. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time awaits in a 2-1 match. T2 trying to hunt for the equalizer. No whistle here until a moment advantage played initially, but this time it's Aguiano that gets called over for a yellow. Coming in with a late challenge, Jared Trimmer went down. Aguiano going to be showed the card by Farhad Dadko.
That moment started with a little bit of a miscue between Ornstall and Anguiano. Anguiano had checked in for the ball and he didn't get it, and then Ornstall played it after he started to move away. When Aguiano had to recover there, he got back to, felt it best to commit the foul.
Fifth caution of the night, third for the home side. Francois Malloy, but a ball played in. Langsdorff's header, taken off. Leaker there, did it go across? It did. They're calling it a goal for Reno. And a 3-1 lead. It is Foster Langsdorff in his return to the Rose City. The former T2 standout scores, coming on as a substitute to make it 3-1 visitors.
That's another good ball from Francois and a good effort from Langsdorff there. Doesn't quite cross the line, but on the second effort, he gets it to go in, which is something he's been known for years. Great effort on the first one, comes in. Could almost be a goal that you split between two people. I'm not sure who got the last touch on it, but I believe it goes to Langsdorff. That completely changes the game in the last 10 minutes.
Boy, Foster Langsdorff, first goal as a member of Reno, does it on the pitch where he had so much success with T2. 21 goals for him in a T2 kit over the 2018 and 19 campaigns combined, and now he does so for the opposition. And it could have sealed it, now 3-1, but T2, of course, will not go down to Langsdorff and Reno without a fight here in the final 8+ minutes. This one tracks in. Couple of heads to it for Reno. Clears the box, but Stanley on it at the corner. Bone takes it away. Langsdorff combines back with Bone to play it back upfield. Rivas now works around a sliding Hansen. They have taken a touch off our referee, Dadko. Why not? Oh, we'll see another yellow, and this is going to be a soft red, I do believe, for the T2 captain, Max Ornstall here. As we cross over in a minute, 84, Ornstall, who previously was shown a yellow in the 68th minute, shown one again here, and he has to come off the pitch. T2 to play with 10 the rest of the way.
See Hansen sliding there. Ball goes into Langsdorff, and Ornstall comes in high. It's going to be hard for T2 going into the next game. Losing a center back like that, it's going to have to sit in the next contest.
And T2 already thin at that position. Brought in Williams Velasquez, the transfer from Premier League side Watford, who debuted in the Tacoma match but was unavailable for this one. Picked up a knock. And now the captain, Ornstall, gonna have to miss the next match as well, Monday night at home against Tacoma. Meanwhile, Langsdorff is back up. He's okay after taking that one from his former teammate, Ornstall. 3-1 Reno. Langsdorff looking to be sprung through by Yakaza. Gathered in without harm by Jake Leaker. Dabo one time. Ferguson heads it back in to Leaker. Some good things this second half from Cam Knowles' side. But moments can also be so fragile. 2-1 there for a span of about 10 minutes before Langsdorff found the third.
Not just in the second half, but T2 has had some really good runs of play during this game. First half, they were able to outshoot Reno. And then coming to the second half, they've had some opportunities going forward, but just not being able to capitalize on as many shots and as many effective balls through.
Aguiano looking to make some magic in the left channel. Gets away from him. Duran pressing. De La Cerda with some urgency. Falls on the carpet to collect.
The word that comes to mind for Reno when they attack is just explosive. When they go, they go. When Francois goes, they go. When they're going to hit a shot, they hit it with a lot of pace. That explosiveness has really paid off for them today, whether it's taking a chance on a ball that's been cleared out of the box first time, or taking a hard dribble across the box like Francois did. Finish that ball far post. They've had some very explosive attack.
And Reno, you know, you got to give them credit too with the uncertainty of the schedule and the postponement of this game, the postponement of their previous match at Tacoma. They've hung tough with it. They still have yet to play their first home match of 2020. There was a friendly moment when Langsdorff came on the pitch between him and Ornstall, his former teammate. Yet the second time they collided, it was with a much different tone in the run of play. Reno's first home match won't come until August 8th, hosting Tacoma Defiance. They've got one more on the road after this one. Returning back to their home state, visiting Las Vegas Lights FC on Saturday night. T2 playing with 10 men. Stanley and Aguiano looking to combine. Clap here, keeps it in the attacking half, but can't find Aguiano. Trimmer holds steady.
Clapier leaving that play, looks to be grabbing his calf, might be another sign of the heat.
Francois with some pace against Hansen. On the overlap, central now. Last moment challenge by Ferguson is going to be whistled for a foul in the box, and it will be a penalty kick. A lot of space here for Reno to work with, and they capitalized. Not sure there was a ton of contact from T2 there.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the contact there. It might have been a misstep from Langsdorff.
Or friendly fire at the worst. But upon first blush, that seems to be an unfavorable ruling. Leaker now in an unenviable position with Francois, who's looking for his second, and put the sealing touches on this. The approach is home. Francois gets one again. 4-1 Reno deep into the second half. Oh,
Yeah, that ball in. Langsdorff appears to hit his right foot with his left foot. The referee saw it differently, and then Francois, he has this entire game when he attacks with speed, and he did the same thing there on that penalty kick.
Oh, T2 is going to see that one back on tape and chalk that up just to misfortune. It is a fourth for Reno, the second of the night, a brace for Francois. Joining Rivas and Langsdorff, the goal scorers. 1 minute of stoppage time. Lee Kerr playing long for Duran, the lone goal scorer of the night for the home club. Galito shepherds it out. Boy, Langsdorff coming on in the 75th minute, of course. Wasted no time. Cam Knowles having a quick conversation with Adere Monroy, the fourth official.
It appears that there may be some disagreement on the amount of stoppage time, or at least some discussion about it.
For Cam Knowles' club, they'll look to bounce back in short order. In just a few days, short time, one more substitution for Ian Russell's side. Squeezing the juice from the lemon. Bringing Aiden Adapaka on. For Sergio Rivas, who gets a fist bump from his coaching staff and teammates, and there is the final whistle. Final score, Reno 4-1 winners over Timbers 2. Foster Langsdorff in his return to Providence Park. Not without drama as a late sub. He scored and drew a red card on Max Ornstall, and Gerardo Duran, the lone goal scorer for Portland Timbers 2, but it comes in defeat. Reno 4, T2 1. That's your final from Providence Park right here on ESPN+. We'll see you again Monday against Tacoma. We'll be right back. Final from Providence Park, Reno 1868, 4-1 winners over Portland Timbers 2 on ESPN+. Gerardo Duran, the goal scorer for the home club Timbers 2. Foster Langsdorff among those finding the back of the net for Reno in his return to Providence Park. Final stats here, Laura. T2, obviously, they made this one dramatic down the stretch before Reno put it away.
Well, it's great for T2 that they were able to break through and get their first goal in the season. But in that second half, Reno took over with the shots. The first half they didn't lead in shots. Second half they come out on top in the game with more. They really were able to break down T2's defense in that second half. Langsdorff breaks through with that goal. We mentioned him before the game as possibly a super sub, and he did just that.
Well, next up for Timbers 2, they will take on a Tacoma side that they just saw moments ago up north. This time they look to return the favor here at Providence Park. An action-packed evening here on the corner of 18th and Morrison. It goes the way of the visitors, not without a little drama as well. We'll see you back here again Monday night on ESPN+. This has been Portland Timbers 2 Soccer of the USL Championship. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.